Oh, what's up, guys? Welcome to Sports Talk 101. In today's video, um, we'll be talking about the Big Ten media days. We'll break it down. Um, I've got this pin out basically the big coaches, what they had to say of the commissioner, um, and so that. So fortunately, was looking at this. I have the transcript. I can see the transcript. Most upload for most coaches. Still waiting on the Big Ten to release the transcript for Wisconsin and Michigan. I did listen a little bit to Jim Harbaugh thing yesterday in Lou Fickle of Wisconsin for the Big Ten. Obviously, you wonder what I'm talking about the Big Ten Media Days. That was Wednesday, the 26th to 27th in Annapolis. All the Big Ten coaches and the top players. I will go break down. Unfortunately, um, I don't know. I don't. I'll try to do as many teams as I can. It will be just best of my abilities to go. I won't do every single team. I will try to, but like I said, um, there's a lot of things to get to. So there's that. Um, so yeah, like I said, Big Ten Indianapolis, pretty good stuff here. Good for the the new commissioner. Obviously, some hearing from David Braun, the new now interim head coach over at Northwestern. Hearing from also Lou Fickle, Matt Rule, Ryan Walters. So basically, there's one, two, three, four new four new coaches in the Big Ten in 2023. So that's pretty cool. You have one, two, three, four, hold up, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 out of the 14 teams, well, 13 teams, sorry. So 10 of them, right? At least 10 returning coaches and 14 teams, yeah. So 10 of the 14 teams are returning coaches. Only 4 of the 16 teams, 14 teams in the Big Ten are new coaches. So that's pretty cool. Only 4 new coaches, only 10 returning coaches. So I'll pick those coaches, also the new ones in a bit. So there. The big takeaways, like I said, we'll talk about it. We'll look at the big. Basically, what we'll do is if you elected the SEC and the Big 12, look at the coaches. I'll point some things my thoughts of what they have to say as the commissioner. I did not do a lot of picks. I don't know if they released. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second. Let's do this. You can see here. See, it started Wednesday. So this is the press conference time when it started. So you can see a transcript and then the video of it. Fortunately, I can't not play the video in this video because of I don't know if it's copyright stuff or whatnot. But you can go ahead, click video here. If you go to Big Ten.org or YouTube, wherever, you can YouTube this. What I have to say, link listen to it. But I'm looking at this transcript. Unfortunately, can't just look. I would love to. I've seen the videos, but I just cannot show it here on this video. Unfortunately, it takes some time. B, I don't know what your Big Ten particular sort of thing. So that's what it is. So anyway, so on Wednesday you heard from the commissioner. Open things up. You heard from Brad Millermine, Guy Gasciano, Mel Tucker, David Braun, Jane Franklin, Kurt Ferentz, and Ryan at Ohio State. I'm gonna start off. I'm not gonna try. I'll try go. Let's start with the commissioner. Let's see. What's this one? Oh, man, one of these is gonna be commissioner. Give me a second. I knew I'd get. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. So here we go. Move this here. Okay. Cool. Slightly. There you go. All right. So you have the big commissioner. Okay. Here you go. This is what you want. Okay. Awesome. Okay, let's see. What is it we'd like to put out? Okay, great. So put this here, scroll down. Here's a big introduction. One thing he starts off, okay. Okay, minimize this. He starts off with the question of the whole no Western situation, right? He says there's positive to launch valuation. You talk about this behavior, situation at no Western. Talk about USC and Australia. So let's go back to the Western thing. He did big lot of points about the city. Well, I think it's something else like this. He said, obviously there needs to be something that needs to take place, and so that he's talking about that. They talked about the USC, USLA joining the Big Ten. He said he's excited actually, focus on, also, people say for them. Talk about scheduling. That, talk about the Sanford portal, which I think is a bit important thing. You talk about that. Pretty good. Then, let's see, NIL, he, of course, is that. He talked about basically the whole thing with No Western is his whole thing. So there's that. We're going to now here look at Greg Schiano, the head coach of the Rugged Scarlet Knights. This way. I do. Okay. Yeah, okay, cool. So let's see. He talked about, first question he asked about is about 2023. Look at the next year edition. He said, well, 23 is focus on. Good luck. I didn't say much for us. Never really say much for it. What about that? Talk about the 50 game win streak. Talk about the, okay, let's do. Oh, yeah, that's a good question I'd like to. What's one thing you would change about either the current NL or transfer portal landscape if you could do it tomorrow? And he says, answer that. This is actually a great question because I think I like his response. He says a lot of things choosing one is tough. Though somehow, universities, if the universities control more NL, this more fluidity, we don't have all the third party that are involved. That is not to look one's not doing it other than third parties. So now, so grateful without them trouble. So basically, talk about that. That's the first part you said, which is, real humanity. We don't have great. This is something we and Sheffield Sport needs to be done and change about. And I like the way he talked about that. He talked about the biggest challenge is look at logos on the wall. We play the best conference in America. We built a program basically that could compete at someday at Sheffield level. He talked about the whole Western and then Sweden. Let's see here. What else we got? I'd like to put out. So that's that. Then you hear from Bill of mine from Illinois. Let's see what he's putting out. Okay, talk about culture. This is actually, I like this question. This is actually a great question because I surprised that they asked him. I'm going to tell you a non-football question. Newbert, have you taken down to see it? Let's see. So he says, I saw a tweet about the movie about over the next years. I've seen a lot of Barbies. I have a 6 and 4-year-old. And my 6-year-old is watching. Hey, but we bought a lot of Barbies for playing Bucks. I don't really talk about Barbie, but his question. I have not taken her see it. I'm sure we're going to see it when the mermaid mode now. We're still heavily into mermaids. I'll talk about that. What else? That's pretty much from him. So that's a big takeaway. I like that football question. For him, he was talking about the big takeaway from you. Talk about success. Will give team the success. It's a good question about the day. Other for indicators, I think the guys around the people around me know that when we are here. A year ago, I was going to put a prediction how many wins we could have, and pretty sure we were going to have a bowl team. I knew we had a good football team, and that's how we're going to go and build. I look for indicators how guys could carry themselves on the field. I look for indicators how they play. It's just new players. So they got that. So pretty much talk about it like that. Then you hear from Mel Tucker of Michigan State. A big takeaway for this one. Let's see here. Archibald Deion Sanders says he answers a question about how basic tech template turning team around, ran with it, and probably minus of transport. Again, he says, "Oh, Prime got time." In response, Prime has done great job so far. I'm pulling for him and the buffs in the buffs to get the things going again. He's got his own process. He's following obviously his success there. I talk about this going into full field. He says this is going to be a tremendous play program, a national audience, and a pro football arena, which I think is great for our teams. Will be great. Game will be in the Detroit area when we recruit. We have a lot of fans there. It's a great thing, great opportunity. I'm looking forward to it. Talk about that. First work game of the season is in Iowa City, which I think it'll be tough. I look at the schedule. By the way, I've done doing a bunch of prediction videos for the Big Ten, so I'm making my way. I've done, I think, Michigan. Anyways, I've done a playlist. Basically, you can check out with Big Ten teams, but I've done some Big Ten teams. I still have a few more to go, but keep in mind I'm doing some prediction videos for not with Big Ten, SEC, Pac-12, maybe way through Pac-12, SEC. On almost of the Big Ten, I've done it tight ACC and Big 12. I'll probably do it tight conferences at this point, which I thought I would not get to, but hey, I have time to do it. So I mean, got like what, few weeks left before the season starts. I'm trying to do many videos, a day to record it, but there's that. Get off a little track. Back to it. So you talk about Iowa. It's a tough place. Look, it is a tough place to play. You know, I played for Wisconsin. Went there. There's that. Okay. Let's see. So this Commissioner Brett. This Rutgers, Illinois, Michigan State. So who's this? Indiana. Oh no, my God. James Franklin. I don't know what I'm today. Today's a great day. Okay. Okay. As for schedule, these things are great. Okay. Yeah. Here you go. I'll say book club I like to be clear. We have one every year. First year, okay, in a while. Yes, sir, he said. After the Michigan State, this is two right now question I look for. He says about the whole Michigan State thing. I think obviously it will be a Friday game, so we'll talk about later in the season. So you got a short week, but by the point of year, you got bumps and bruises and so if that Friday night game can be a challenging, at least it's playing level field, we'll both have to deal with. I think there's a lot of positives. I would think when you think of point of season, being able to play in the venue. I think practice plays. I think our fans will travel. I think Michigan will travel extremely well. It's their home game. It's going to be a great environment. It's going to be indoors at that time of year. Because it comes to that, we had a great time. And Michigan State, we're looking forward to that as well. We were exactly right. There's a lot of time and everything now and then, which allows us to prepare for it. He asked about the Michigan State and Ohio State, the rivals. He said we'll obviously focus about Penn State building defense, and Yes feels like he needs to be built. Same thing, Mike goes and how offense needs to be a bit from a perspective. Okay, we're always aware we study. We're always aware we study best practice. He says. Yes, there we go. Sorry, you see that? Sorry, there we go. We're aware of Michigan, what Michigan's doing. We're aware how states are doing. We study these programs too. But also Diaz's success in his and defense, and then Mike Ewich and the what do you call it? Offense coordinator. Moving on to Kurt Ferentz and the Iowa Hawkeyes. The big takeaway from him, entering his 25th season, by the way, at Iowa City. Let's see. Okay. The whole gambling situation, about that, that's big thing. He says, not numbers, periods, last story, we don't know what outcome to be. I don't think anyone condemns gambling, especially the college game. I think what's being said learn past 2 months about gambling. So as to that, what else do you answer the questions back there? Take away from him. Pretty much that whole gambling situation. He talked about relationship with a lot of director. A few things out of Iowa, I think, pointed out to me. Missed that. Then we heard from Buckeye, the big one for Ryan Day. Good looking. Where is it? Where'd it go? Asked about how she ended. I'm sure if I where it went. But there's one question he asked. And you know what it is. I'll make a video. I'll make a video about Ryan Day, and he just cut me. I will make a video about Ryan Day in a second. Not a second. Sorry. I'll make a separate video just about Ryan Day and all his complaints. Big thing he talked about was the connection of season. The whole quarterback about opening Indiana's opener. Talk about how last season was for them. Basically, the big one I'd like to point out, it says, I think it was the way the regular season ended, and the whole bowl prep leading up to it. Make sure we finish the season the right way. We came up with tropical plays, not easy to do. So basically, talk about that. It was Achilles heel going down to the last 2 games. When I said that, beat Las Vegas twice, moving different factor. Then, yes. We know that we talk about how much we talk about our game winning at the end of the season. We talk about what we do. We're not sure we sit there and let us beat us twice, but it's motivating factor for sure. So you got that from Ryan Day. You got Matt Rule, one of the newer coaches. And they asked, are you surely guys? I said, I never asked before. I got scared when I first heard it. I met a woman who went to culinary school. As you tell, I like great food, great things. I went to recruit her, and mom made for me a bit life changing. So yes, I am. Okay, first season, Nebraska. He says, I really talk about this. I want to compete in every game, play. We want to play winning games. As Coach Wilson said, we're going to try out and win a game. This time when football was feared, and we certainly want that back. We have a Big 12 Temple. Okay, what else? Yes. So, Cornhuskers. Pretty much that. The other last thing I want to point out will be Loof. Okay, look, so here, okay, I don't get see it. So then then Thursday you heard from Tom Allen, Loxley, BJ Fleck, Walters, Brent Rule, Luke Fickle, Jim Harbaugh. As you can see here, right here, there is a transcript right over here. You can see blue, and click that. So that's these are access to the script. Unfortunately, I cannot access Wisconsin and Jim Harbaugh as of yet. Once they upload that, I'll make a separate video, maybe a part 2 of Media Days. I'll just talk about Jim Harbaugh and Lou Fickle. But I can talk about, let's talk about, well, actually, I did get to every single team. I didn't even do, let's see, what did I do? I didn't even do Northwestern. I did Iowa, Penn State, Michigan State, Illinois. Oh, wow, did not do Northwestern. Maybe I did do Northwestern, I'm not sure. In terms of looking at these posts, I like that team, but that's pretty much gist of it. Northwestern, obviously, the new coach, so that's about what's going to do next year. A little hazing situation. I know Western, I believe, Purdue coach. See here, he asked about the Triple X, try peanut butter burger, Mockery, Big Ten. Basically about last season, how the season ended. culture established there. About Midwest says in-state the blueprint for success in any program. You got to take care of your home state. That's the makeup. All type of in-state recruiting basically. The general core of locker room guys would take part in being their home state, playing from home crowd. This is definitely priority number one. That's the main of operative when we hit the recruit trail. It takes home state first and venture out our footprint, and when we have connection to that way as well. Talk about that. Talk about the philosopher says defensive guy. It says what defense that can defend both. Gotta be creative in offensive playing. Your game plan be specific, intentional when you're aggressive, when you're conservative, and when you really got to put out your roster in the best possible position to have success. So basically, talk about new roster and whatnot. He says about new roster addition last month, how team chemistry go to camp, mesh together for first game. Says the co-watcher says that definitely a concern when we figure out how many pieces we have at post spring ball. The thing we did a good job was finding the right type of guys, not only the right requirements from that skill point, but the right type of people. When you have a locker room, that might not have a lot of experience together. The ground in the love for football, we got a bunch of guys for the love of the game for the game. Okay, so there's that. I'm gonna go back. So like I said earlier, I was saying, where did they go? Oh, they have upload. Oh, the upload now. Woo! Let's go. Okay, we'll look at. So let's look at Mosley. Oh, so now we're talking about. Oh, they just upload. Look at this. Earlier, yesterday, I couldn't access this because this was not uploaded. Hey, guess what? They just uploaded. Let's go. But thank you, Big Ten. Let's do. Probably knew I'm doing a video on this. Huh? How's that? That's funny. Okay, Tom Allen and Indiana. Let's see. So that's about the diversified type skill set and stuff like that. Obviously, Coach talked about it. Okay. 45 yards. Talk about the Big Ten. I think that open the Big Ten. I like that. Like I said, just fast forwarding everything. Cause get it. So that's the you have. Just slowly build up the game. I think. Okay. Trade. Talk about this. Get camp. And he asked about this is a question I like. Landscape college football. Obviously, talk about getting into the divisions. Asked about play two opponents, especially. So here we go. I think we'll look at the when you look at bringing UC, UCLA, that's exciting and awesome. 2024 USC comes to us. 25 we go to California and play USC. We last time played Trojan. O.J. Simpson was the tailback. Bottom line is new opportunities in the conference. They're going to see equitable schedule where teams are going to be playing teams more equally across the conference, which I think is a great thing. That excites me as well. We'll play some difficult teams with constant basis. But look at it, there's a lot of great football in this conference. Everybody's schedule is going to be tough and excited for the new future of the Big Ten. So excited about that. So that's from Indiana. Let's look at Lockley Fleck real quickly. As far as I guess if it's Elman Thompson, he says a unique situation that plays to me so much. The football game provided me a unique change in lineage of my family. Growing up in tough area of DC, playing in Townsend 4 or 5 years, spent Townsend shape more me come in. McMahon have come today. That's about that. Football as about the program, main principally foundation and feel external, but program believe the top 30 country. That's that. Let's see. Minnesota was pretty good. I like from like this. I'm seeing. Oops, PG Fleck did a good job of answering questions, I think. The big takeaway from him, hosting Nebraska, says, I got off the radio with Nebraska guys. I know Coach Rule for a long time. I have a lot of respect for what he's done. We go back to Western games for me and Temple days for him. He's a phenomenal coach and phenomenal culture. His culture is about connectivity. Anytime you're opening with a Big Ten opponent, you always know it's going to be a tough matchup, especially when you coach staff like he has, a team like he has. Always have ton of respect for Nebraska. Always a team always has. Starting Big Ten play right away really kind of gets the seasons off to a really exciting start right away. It'll be a fun environment, Hunting Bank Stadium, and looking forward to it. My glaciers was full. Talk about the new schedule. It says, well, keep new it says, I think, shoes. I think when we had to fill it out. Sorry, let's see that. We had out as an administration program what programs rivalry means to most of you. For us, so many rivalries of University of Minnesota being one of the oldest members. But hold on to the Wisconsin rivalry bad for Paul Bunyan Axe and was with Iowa, incredibly for important fan base. Important our tradition and fancy of college football. A Big Ten got right when you protect those rivalry. We won't make people happy when scheduling anything like that. But by the top Big Ten did a good job when protecting the rivalry. I think our fan base wants to see on a yearly basis. I do see it on a yearly basis. We'll see very soon. I think change is inevitable. But I do think the Big Ten. I did a video on the whole Big Ten, not realignment, but alignment and how the 2024 schedule, how they go with division, all that. The new schedule, you can check that out. I do think I'm with him. The point where he says the Big Ten got right. You won't look. I got Big Ten got right. They did a good job, best they could. Did they get it right? It was perfect, no, but they did a really good job. They'll protect the rivalry and did a good job. Do the best they can to keep these rivalries aligned and proper, protected as much as they can. All right, last two coaches, Wisconsin and Jim Harbaugh of the Wolverines. So we're going to start with Lou Fickell in his very first season in 2023 with the Wisconsin Badgers, returns to the Big Ten, former Ohio State guy. He says, why Wisconsin? He had opportunity to report why, just Wisconsin. Why Wisconsin? I probably said it does because he says he always liked playing against and playing for Wisconsin. He understands the word culture. I assume the culture is from so he asked about that. Quarterback, not the thing to naked eye to no fans, to the kid on campus, whoever quarterback close vision, that's the answer to that. When you think you're going to see, look at tradition, different, no doubt. When there's three tight ends, two backs, then maybe this is what Wisconsin has been being successful with to the ability to spread things out a little more. As for Ohio State, so that's pretty much the takeaway from him. And the big one, save for last, Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines. And so basically, Big Ten Championship. So the first question he asked was, Jay McCarthy has been on fire for 3 years. What's last year for him as quarterback? He asked response, so I like this response. So he says, talking about J.J. McCarthy, the first year he played a true freshman in games spanning became fourth starter in 2022. I have just memory for someone who's been first year starter and first time starter. He says he's once a general. Can't even see it. General type of quarterback at Michigan. A progress costs to grow. I love basically how he talks about it. We also talks about the thing, teammates. I think one thing he says is I could see compare him to Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen would be 2. The others to have 7+ quarterback positions willing to do the same. And he asked about the whole Ryan Day thing, which I'll talk about. I'll make a whole video about Ryan Day, by the way. I will talk about Ryan Day situation in a second. He says the response is we'll play whenever it's scheduled to be played. We know we'll play it every year at least once. I don't have a particular opinion when it should be played right now. Played last game of season. Right now, it's played last game of season. I think everybody used to it. It's part of the tradition, so let's respect it. Then you talk about the 3-4 years ago, opposed the one-time transfer and then a deal. Yeah, it says 2-year focus. When I talk about that, the main reason I mean only sport you could think could not transfer without penalty were football, men and women's basketball, and I believe hockey was the fourth. And there's other folks that could choose best for the family. But that they asked about the whole. This is the best thing I like about this. Asked about the whole NCAA invitation, which I'll make a video about that. He said, as you probably know, I'm not allowed to talk to any aspect of the ongoing situation. I'm with you. I'd love to lay out all there. There's not everything up. But now's the time. That's all about to say about that. He's not allowed to do that. It was great. As for a guy like Max McGill, he says, it's so many great ways. How McCarthy's been too about a guy like McCarthy. How did you see Kate push how it kept ways right now? He responds saying that, oh man, so many great ways. I remember being there last year. This time it's going to be training camp with 2 players with star caliber. I love the way they competed, never combative. JJ saw everything in the way JJ saw everything in the way that Cade could compete and grind. He wasn't there. The most moment was Cade was in 2020 game with Rutgers without 17 points winning game. It was just like Spock throwing the ball with no confidence and just playing free. At the moment, that was the play he was. I remember got a big hit right before halftime, and then Justin Gabriel in his gut out there. Love Cade. Suddenly JJ was the same quarterback room and saw all those same attributes. It's tremendous. Now we're gonna be the same situation like last year. Now the quarterback position, JJ is our quarterback. There's other positions where we're gonna be very similar. And we saw 2 solid players, and they're watching on forward who's gonna start. With that, talk about let's see a corner. Talk about Washington, Josh Wallace, McBowers, and some players. Talk about Will Johnson, all that. Blake Cohen returning, Darren Edwards, Loveland, Bonner, great addition to the team. But then he talked about this one, which I thought pretty cool. As last question he was asked, also by NFL and running back. One question when you take running backs play level, he says, "Have a part could come back. I mean, pull it down. That made my day, make my week, made my offense." And then he was asked this question, which I thought was pretty cool. And perhaps the beginning of last season, last question. Zaya for VT player from last year in the Big Ten Championship. I said, love a sport collective. Former Jay Wrangler. Everybody cares about Michigan. Can't wait. Have great tournament coming up on July 31st. Looking for the building on that. So that's basically what we heard. Okay, I'm going to go back here. From the Big Ten, basically, all the coaches, unfortunately, I did not go over all the players. You can go back. Let's do Blake Corum. Jason McCollum was there. Blake Corum was there for Michigan and some other players. You go back and listen to not just Michigan, but all that. Also, you go back on Big Ten and find the website bigten.org and look at the transcript. Obviously, I think I did my best to summarize point by point of all the teams, coaches. I tried to, basically went to try Big Ten. So there's that coaches and all that. So there's that. I am supposed to. So thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And I'm supposed to signing out. I'll see you next video. Peace.